We are discussing now on urban livelihood. Do you know that there are 5,000 cities, 5,000 towns in India, and more than 27 big cities are there in India? Can you compare life in a city and life in a village? Is it comparable? Whatever we have learned in rural livelihood, can you get all those occupation, all those professions in a city life? Are we in the morning going to the agricultural field in the cities? Are we mostly depending on selling milks and other products? How many of us, how many of the professionals in the cities, we are depending on the weaving of baskets and other this type of professions? Hardly some few we will get like this. So if we see the urban livelihood, if you compare a life, the city you are living in and the village wherever you may some visited for some time, some days ago or sometimes, is there any similarity between them? Yeah, a little similarity definitely there. Even there we can find some few shops and others, but mostly we can find a huge difference between the livelihood in urban sector and the rural sector. Take example of the city Hyderabad. How many people are coming there every day, every morning? So many people, they are entering in the city. They can be a local migrant, even they are not staying here for a long time. For some seasonal work, they are coming here. They work here. After maybe 1, 2, 3 months, they are going back to their villages. So when discussing about rural livelihood, what we have seen, the seasonal migrant, those who are the landless agricultural laborers or the small farmers, we have seen that they are coming to the cities to get some extra income the time they don't have any work at village. So city is providing work to everyone, those who are coming to get some work here. So the number of types, the way people can earn money, that is really more, many more. So in the urban livelihood, what we can see that some people can start from the street vendors. Who are street vendors? Have you ever seen a rickshaw puller? The small rickshaw pullers, they are usually spending their day and night in those rickshaws or in the street side. Do you know that even these rickshaw pullers, the rickshaws are not belong to them, they are hiring it from some people, and they are whatever the money they earn throughout their hard job throughout the day, they are sharing a part of that money as the hiring amount, the rickshaws, which one they have taken from some of the owners, rickshaw owners. Maybe some owner, he has some 20 or 25 rickshaws, and he is lending them daily basis to these rickshaw pullers. Mostly these rickshaw pullers are agricultural laborers. They are coming to city to earn some money and then accumulate them and go back to the village for the next agricultural season. These people, they are spending their day, their night even in the footpath. We have seen at night, if we any time at the night stroll also, you can have a night stroll, you can just walk through. You will find many people are sleeping in the footpath side. These people, they don't have any residence like you and me that where they can stay. So they spend their night there. They spend a very little amount to get their food from the roadside, and throughout the day they are working as maybe some people as a rickshaw puller, some people they are pulling vans and at something else, and they are earning money in that way. Street vendors can be street hawkers also. Before few years also, we always accepted these people, the roadside vendors, those who are selling maybe flowers, maybe fruits to you, or sometimes the dresses and the beautiful bangles and all. These people are hawkers. They were called as hawkers. They are the small street vendors. Their shops also, it is not permanent. Wherever they get a space, they just fix a shop, they started selling their whatever they can buy from the nearby market, they started selling to the people, and that is their livelihood. They also are street vendors. Maybe they have a very small place where they can stay. Some few are, again they are migrants, but some few are, they are staying here only in the city, but in a very miserable, poor condition. Before few years also, even our government, they have an outlook, we have an outlook. These people, they are only disturbing the smooth livelihood of the city. They are jamming the footpath, they are jamming the road sometime because they are selling their goods. But now the outlook has been changed. Even government started thinking for these people because they are a major part of the society. They are a major part of these poor people. They are depending on this. So if you remove these hawkers, if you remove these vendors, what will be the another way of their livelihood? Depending on that, thinking this for the people, now our government even started thinking to rehabilitate them. So what is the rehabilitation procedure government has taken for them? Maybe they have been given a fixed shop where they can sell their whatever they are selling now, maybe the dress materials, dresses or whatever, fruits or flowers or whatever. So government started helping them in that way, and at the same time it will help to keep the streets clean and providing some earning to these level of people also. So this group of people, we call them as street vendors. They can be some few people, those who are daily basis wage laborers, they are also on the street, or sometimes these people, those who have small hawkers shops, like some corners where they are selling, roadside corners, they are selling their products. Even you can see that sometimes they don't have any place also, they just keep sitting on the footpath on a plastic, they keep all those materials and they started selling them. These people, for their betterment also, for betterment of their livelihood, now government started thinking, and government is offering them some other means of living, like giving them another shop or some other place also where they can sell their products, some vendor markets like that. Next we will be discussing that about small shops owners. If you visit any time a marketplace, you will find that there are many small shops, and the shop owner himself or herself, they are only managing their shops. They don't have much more employees, they don't have that capacity that they can employ many more employees and they can pay them. Rather, it is a very small shop which the shop owner himself or herself, they are only managing. These type of shops also in the marketplace, if you visit any of the marketplace of your adjacent locality, you will find this type of shops. But these are the permanent shops. Either they have taken it on lease, or sometimes or lease or rent, or sometimes they even own that shop. A small shop, maybe a stationery shop, or maybe a Xerox machine where people are Xeroxing and giving you the Xerox copies, photocopies of your books or whatever your requirement. They are the small shop owners. Next we are coming to big shop owners. Yes, in the malls and all, if you visit them, how colorful and bright lighted they are, isn't it? And you will find they are very well dressed, some of the people. Those who will come to you, they will greet you, and they are very polished with their behavior also. You will be very much obliged being with them when they will be offering you some few things which they have in their shops. Even you hardly you can see the owner of the shop. The owner may be somewhere, he is busy in his office, means like who is actually managing that entire show for the big shop or the big malls. People, those who are employed there as employee, the salesperson, the managers, the accounts person, or some few those who are in the billing section, customer relation people, so many people are there to manage it. And these big shop owners, big mall owners, they are not even only dependent on the products which is the local products. The small shop owners, you will find they are accumulating their whatever they are selling maybe from the local markets only. But here we can see for the big shop owners, they even import them from outside of our country, and even they are selling it out maybe online to other places, not only that particular place, but in the other sectors of the other places, on the cities or on the country also, they are selling it out. You will, how many times you have seen that people are coming at your home for home delivery. So this is also a big shop owner's business who has much more money to run the show and manage that business. That there are so many people, they are employed, and there is an owner who is paying for them. It is a completely private sector. Next we are coming to factory workshop. In factory also, if you every city you will find some of the factory workshops are there. Factory workshops can be there also. We can see two types of employee. One is temporary, one is permanent. Now who are the temporary workers? Temporary workers are getting job the time when there is a heavy workload. Like take example of a tailoring factory, where at the time before any of the festivals, you all are ready to buy your new clothes. From where you are getting them? They are coming from the factory workshop, tailoring factory workshop. So this is the time when factory has more work, and whenever the factory has more order, they are prone to hire to some of the temporary workers who will be working for them throughout the day, 8 hours, maybe sometimes 10 hours, sometimes it is 12 hours also, and then they will be replacing by someone else, some another one else. Depending on that, they are paid how many hours they are working. They don't have any PF, they don't have any gratuity. If they are not coming for their work, they are not paid. If their health is not well, there is nothing to take care of them, rather they will be losing their salary also. They are temporary workers. On other side, we can see even in the factories we can find the permanent workers also. They have their fixed salary. Mostly they are in the high position. They are working for long time for the factory, or they have much education, or their professional education, professional experience also. So based on that, they are paid. Their salary is fixed, and some whatever the factory benefits are there, they are eligible to get all of the factory benefits. Temporary workers may lose their job every 6 months or every maybe 3 months when the factory workload is less. But this permanent workers, they for them the work is fixed, so they are not feared every time to lose their job. If they work more, they are at that time they are compensated by overtime allowance also. So they have many this type of allowances. They have their health allowances also. So if they are not well, in that case they can get some medical benefit. It is not only for those permanent workers, but for their family members also. The factory is providing that. So a major major population of the city areas, urban areas, we can see that people are working in the factory workshops. Next we are coming to the office sectors. Every city you will find there is some place in the city which is exclusively the office sector. The people, those who are working there, they mostly are permanent workers. They have their own offices to work. They need not to work in a very poor hygienic conditions also sometimes, how the factory temporary workers or the street vendors they are working like. They have a beautiful setup in the office. People are sitting there, they are responsible, their responsibilities are also fixed, and their work is also permanent. Whatever as per the government rule, the benefits an employee must get, even those office employees, they are getting those benefits. Coming to the next, the government job sector, the most secured sector, most secured livelihood for any people in the city. Once you get a government job, that means you are serving people on behalf of government. Government is paying you for serving this, by paying those people to serve the citizens of the country. So government job sector mostly administrative, their work procedure is different and their work type is also different. They are more responsible to provide services to the people, like the police, like the IAS, IPS officer or the municipal corporation people, those who are working for the people for their betterment, that with them we can live peacefully and properly. Next, we are coming to IT and BPO job sector. This is another sector which is flourishing most of the cities we can see. If we take an example of Hyderabad, Bangalore, Mumbai, we will see that many call centers are there. They are the BPO office. What is this BPO office? That is back office processing. Some few countries like US, like UK, Ireland, they are providing some jobs to countries like India, like China, and people, as in the era of globalization, as it is all internet connected, these people sitting in the Asian countries, they are working for the Western world also. Now, how it is beneficial for them? If you take the round clock, if you take the example of time, if you take the time, if it is day for us, it is night for them, and if it is night for us, it is day for them. So, these call centers or BPOs, they are actually supporting people working the time when those people are sleeping also. So, it is around the clock work. How at the time of globalization, it is never stop. The call centers, what the people are doing, they are providing service to the people. Which people? The people, those who are working maybe for some BPOs of UK or some BPOs for US. They may help them to shoot out a problem in their computer logging, or some service sector in the insurance, loan repayment, anything it can be, financial, economical, anything. These people are sitting here, they are trained, they are using their telephone connection, telecommunication system, internet feasibility and the servers, and they are responding to the people sitting in the other side of the world, and they are solving their problem in that way. IT sector is booming in India in these days. Hyderabad and Bangalore, Mohali, Delhi, Mumbai, they are really the places, even Chennai, they are the places where we can find many of the IT companies. Even the towns like Thiruvananthapuram, they are also flourishing with IT companies, because India is one of the major South Asian countries who is supplying the maximum yield from IT sector. So, these IT people also, they are working, they actually turned as a separate group in the city, who is really contributing a lot for the development of the cities also, as with their livelihood, with their lifestyle. They also are creating many of the opportunities for the people, those who are coming here, those who are in search of job. So, this IT sector also giving promise to a huge youth group, those who are working here. Other than the one I have discussed already in this, you will find doctors, you will find nurses here, you will find hospitals in the urban, in the city areas. Whenever there is any health problem, other than going to the government hospital, many people from the village also, they prefer to come to the big hospitals, private hospitals in the city. So, urban livelihood, a sector we can find like doctor, nurses, or the people, those who are related to the hospital related services. Even the hotel services also, food and beverages. Not only that, even the people, those who are catering some food, like now you can see many big food vendors like KFC, like McDonald's, and like this type of people, those who are selling food. Every day there is a new dawn with new ideas. Before few days also, before few years also, whenever your father has to buy something, he has to go to the market. Now your mother, using the laptop, she is ordering for entire month's grocery, and within 2 or 3 hours that entire item is waiting at the doorstep. This type of development only happen in the urban areas due to the infrastructure. So, urban livelihood is multiple. It's not like the rural one, which is confined to a particular sector. You think you will get many of them that I have not even touched. Many other ways of living, many other ways, types of professions you will find there. You can see your teachers. The teachers are also there in villages also. But the people, those who are supplying your smart board or the things, the infrastructure that your school has, maybe the village they are lacking them. So life in cities, urban livelihood, they are much more modified, advanced and structural than the rural livelihood. Explore more, you will definitely learn more.